Hello, in this video we are going to apply the quadratic formula a few more times. Here we have example number 1. We want to solve for x squared minus 4x minus 1 equal to 0. So we are trying to find the values of x. We know that they can be 2 or 1, or it could be that there are no solutions, such that if we substitute them in the original equation, the result is 0. We are going to apply the quadratic formula. So we are going to say that x is, let's write over here what are the values of a, b, and c. A is 1, b is -4, and c is -1. So x is going to be minus -4 plus minus square root of -4 squared minus 4 times 1 times -1. All of this under square root, and all of this divided by 2 times a, so 2. So what we have over here is actually 4, and then plus minus, and inside the square root we have 16, and then we have -4 times 1 times -1, so that's going to be plus 4, and all of this divided by 2. So we have 4 and then plus or minus square root of 20 divided by 2. 20 is the same as 2 squared times 5. So we can write that x is equal to 4 and then plus or minus 2 square root of 5, and all of this divided by 2. So if we split this into two terms, we have 4 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 5 over 2. And I did this because I want to simplify my expression, and I want to make sure that I simplify it properly. We simplify a factor of 2 here and a factor of 2 here. So we have that this is 2 plus or minus square root of 5. So we are saying there are two solutions for this equation. X can be 2 plus the square root of 5, or x can be 2 minus the square root of 5. And both solutions are good for us. For example number 2, we have that 2x squared is equal to 2x plus 3. The first thing you have to be careful about here is that this quadratic equation is not written in standard form. So we need to rewrite it in standard form so we can say what are the values of a, b, and c. That means that we want to write everything on one side equals 0. In this case, this is going to be 2x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So I want you to pause the video now and try to solve it. You can now compare your solutions with mine. This is our last example for this video, and looking at it you may be wondering, well, is this even a quadratic equation? Yes, it is, but we are going to need to rewrite it to have it in standard form and be able to solve it. Before we do that, I want you to notice that we have two conditions for the value of x. We do not want x to be 1, otherwise we'll have this on the left hand side in the denominator we'll have 0, and we cannot divide by 0. And we do not want x to be -1, because that will give us problems on the denominator on the right hand side. Now, if those are not the values of x, what we are going to do is to get rid of the denominators. So we are going to multiply both sides of the equation by each of the denominators. So I'll write again the expression. And I'm going to multiply both sides by, there's a wrong sign over there. Now corrected. I'm going to multiply both sides by x minus 1, so we can get rid of the denominator on the left hand side. And cancel it here. So far we have that x plus 2 is going to be equal to 3x times x minus 1, and all of this is divided by x plus 1. To get rid of the x plus 1, I'm going to multiply everything by x plus 1. While doing so, on the left-hand side, notice that I'm adding brackets, so I'm really multiplying everything by x plus 1, and I write it here on the right-hand side, and now I use it to cancel, so we don't have denominators anymore. So far our expression is x plus 1, all of that times x plus 2 between brackets is equal to 3x times x minus 1. We need to expand. By doing so, we will see that this is really a quadratic equation. I'm expanding first the left-hand side. I need to multiply x times x plus x times 2 plus 1 times x plus 1 times 2. That's my left-hand side. Now on the right-hand side it's a bit simpler because I have only 3x multiplying the bracket. So we have 3x times x minus 3x times 1. So now this looks like a quadratic equation, and actually I'm going to simplify it. So I'm going to put all the like terms together. For instance, we have x squared and 3x squared. I'm going to write everything on the left hand side, so I'm going to have x squared minus 3x squared. And then we have 2x plus x minus 3x on the other side. So we have plus 3x and then plus 3x more from the other side. And then we have plus 2. So we have negative 2x squared plus 6x plus 2 is equal to 0. So a is equal to negative 2, and b is equal to 6, and c is equal to 2. And this is the quadratic equation you have to solve now. And here are the answers so you can check your work.